Sure, happiness always looks pretty squalid in comparison with the overcompensations for misery, and, of course, stability isn't nearly so spectacular as instability, and being contented has none of the glamour of the good fight against misfortune. Happiness is never grand.
In a world of rapid technological growth, every individual works hard to live a fulfilling life with lots of money, good health, and good looks, ultimately for our happiness. Yet true happiness can only be attained if we can have the freedom to fulfill our dreams and express ourselves. What if we were only able to choose one between the two?
Nah, I would rather choose food. Hashtag first world problem.
Whatever, Annie. The answer can be found in Aldous Huxley's novel Brave New World, which takes place in a technocratic utopian society that lives by the motto community, identity, stability, where civilians are divided amongst a societal hierarchy. From birth, the most superior individual, the world controller, determines their class. Spermatozoa and eggs are donated from individuals and are fertilized inside large test tubes using intensive genetic engineering. It's a taboo to conceive a baby like this.
Society uses hypnopaedia or sleep hypnosis to ensure united belief in stability and universal happiness through the consumption of soma, a drug, and partake in recreational sex. Therefore, Aldous Huxley's novel Brave New World reminds young readers in a society experiencing rapid technological advancement and increasing expectations for an easy lifestyle that it is essential for humans to experience hardships for the sake of attaining happiness and freedom.
One way this theme is exemplified is through Huxley's characterization of Bernard Marx, an alpha plus male. Because of his short stature compared to other males, he is alienated and ridiculed, making him resent society. Therefore, he yearns to be acknowledged, especially by his crush, Lenina Crown. When he and Lenina goes on a romantic ice cream date, he tries to genuinely spend time with her, yet she indulges herself in soma ice cream. This frustrates Bernard, as she also forcibly suggests him to eat soma, making him coldly respond, "I'd rather be myself and nasty, not somebody else, however jolly." Bernard exhibits individualism by emphasizing myself and rejecting soma because it prevents him from experiencing freedom of expression. In addition, Bernard's disgust makes him willing to rebel against society by trying to express forbidden emotions such as love with Lenina, because he believes that his happiness may lie in the relationship. In the end, Bernard gives up on Lenina as she falls in love with an angry blonde-haired guy, John the Savage. He also decides to seek happiness elsewhere by giving up his prestigious occupation and lifestyle for a more humble abode in an isolated island.
Another example is John, also known as the Savage, who lived most of his life with the Native Americans in New Mexico. Despite enduring racial prejudice and traumas of sex from the Native Americans, he escapes with Bernard Marx to find himself even more miserable in a society overly convenient and dependent on soma for happiness. Near the end of the novel, he finds himself conflicted with the world controller Mustafa Mann's ideology of human happiness and freedom by saying, "I don't want comfort, I want God, I want poetry, I want real danger, I want freedom, I want goodness, I want sin. I'm claiming the right to be unhappy." John, who loves literature and everything that Bernard's society sacrificed for happiness, finds himself suffocated by their convenient and robotic lifestyle, making him a passionate and fearless advocate of human struggles. Through his repetition of want, he boldly declares to seek freedom of desire in which the oppressive utopian cannot offer because he will become a threat to their stability. Later on, John actively rebels by publicly throwing soma, which is considered a severe crime, and by isolating himself in a lighthouse. But in the end, he commits suicide because he no longer feels the motivation to live freely.
While Huxley characterizes Bernard and John as discontent individuals motivated to struggle for a richer lifestyle of freedom and happiness, he uses symbolism to reveal the dangers of becoming accustomed to an easy lifestyle. One is through soma, a drug similar to Prozac that is consumed as an antidepressant. Depending on the dosage, civilians can undergo a soma holiday that makes them unconscious and dreaming for days. Thankfully, it is not unlimited because it can slowly kill people. Throughout the story, many people are seen using or referencing it whenever life gets difficult. For example, while Lenina and Bernard witness a grotesque whipping ritual at a savage reservation, she tries to calm herself by mechanically saying, "A gram is better than a dam," and "I wish I had my soma." When the characters in the story repeat, "A gram is better than a dam," they are saying that they would rather be happy and take the soma than not take it and deal with unpleasant emotions. Huxley pokes fun at individuals like Lenina who are afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone because they will never be aware of the richness and diversity of human life. In this utopian world dominated by scientific studies and advancements, convenience with a dependency on soma is significant in making people fear new experiences. The internet in today's society acts similar to soma because we can easily access it for long periods of time to distract ourselves from reality. Therefore, Huxley uses soma to illustrate a mechanism that prevents people from facing hardships, ultimately making it impossible to achieve freedom and happiness.
Another significant symbol is Henry Ford, best known for his revolutionary assembly line and Ford Motor Company. Since the society praises technology, they worship him like the Christian God. Years are expressed as AF, after Ford, and is referenced as a swearing word like "Oh Ford" instead of "Oh God." This popular belief and idolatry of Ford illustrates a world overly lenient on technology and convenience that eventually loses the vivacity of life, similar to the world in WALL-E, where everyone is so engrossed in technology that they lose sight of the things around them. Civilians are required to attend solidarity service, where 12 tables each, consisting of 6 men and 6 women, engage in group orgies known as orgy-porgy. In order to dive into a state of uncontrollable hunger for sex, they pass around a bowl of soma-induced strawberry ice cream multiple times while saying phrases such as "Ford, we are 12, oh, make us one," like drops within the social river, "Oh, make us now together run, as swiftly as thy shining flivver." These declarations of unity toward Ford are used immorally by promoting sex, which reveals the society's greater desire in satisfying themselves with feelings of pleasure. Huxley uses their extreme devotion of becoming one with their God, Ford, to illustrate the dangers that impose society when we lose our morals and inner judgment, in which we blindlessly follow silly rituals and become slaves to our pleasures. All in all, Huxley uses Ford to warn individuals that when they prioritize their desires, they become enslaved to their satisfactions and lose sight of reality and the freedom around them.
Anyway, so let me ask you again, would you want happiness or freedom?